guys, it's Alexei Borov. This is going to be a deck profile for my Earthbound Immortal deck. And quick list of cards I use is Earthbound Immortal, the whale thingy, Earthbound Immortal, the gecko thingy, and Earthbound Immortal, the bird thingy. Yeah, that's all I got. Okay, 3 Hardened Arm Dragon, 3 of those Earthbound Immortals, by the way. 3 Hardened Arm Dragon, 3 Mathematician, 3 Battle Fader, 1 Day of Peace, Monster Gate, Soul Charge, 3 Soul Exchange, 3 Upstart Goblin, 3 Terraforming, a Foolish Burial, Monarch's Storm Forth, 3 Field Barrier, and Mound of the Bound Creator. Now, what these cards do is the Whale Dude, what he does, okay, all Earthbound Immortal monsters, they, by default, cannot be targeted by attacks, and they can attack directly, and if there's no field spell, they're destroyed. That's all their, like, general effects other than their specific ones. So the whole idea of this deck is to tribute Hardened Arm Dragon or get a field spell out, and they become super immortal. They can't be targeted by card effects, they can't be targeted for an attack, and they can't be destroyed by card effects, so they're fucking immortal. So the Whale Dude, what he does is, if you have him in defense position, he could do 1200 points of damage, burn damage each turn, which is pretty nice if he can't attack. And he has 2900 attack that can attack directly, which is nice. The Gecko, what he does is he has 2800 attack, can attack directly, and if he is destroyed except by his own effect, nuke the entire field. Now there's one problem with this card, where if you have him on the field with this particular deck, he literally can't die by card effects, because Hardened Arm Dragon prevents that, and the field spell prevents that. So either you can accept that, have a 2800 beater, and realize that his effect could still activate in the grave if his effects are negated, which is pretty decent. Or what you could do is just replace him, because there's this the ant thing, this Voidwalker looking thing, a monkey, and another bird. Yeah, they're not all that good. This bird sucks. The monkey sucks. The other things suck. They all fucking suck. This thing, it has like the most attack. This thing has some kind of stupid caveat when you attack. Let's see here. Your opponent cannot once per turn to contribute 1 monster, except this card, select and take control of 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Okay, that's actually pretty decent. If you want, you could replace the gecko with the ant, because the ant is pretty decent, but hey, that's your choice. And finally, I use the bird, Ashlepishu. And what he does is, if he leaves the field, other than his own effect, destroy all monsters your opponent controls, and they take 800 damage for each monster destroyed, which is pretty cool. Alright, I don't want to play more than 9 of these Earthbound Immortals, because the deck gets pretty cloggy, you get dead draws, it's just fucking stupid. Hardened Arm Dragon, you could special summon him by discarding level 8 or higher monster from your hand, and if you tribute summon a level 7 or higher monster, using this card as a tribute, it can't be destroyed by card effects, which is nice. And that also counts for its own destruction effect. So if you tribute Hardened Arm Dragon to summon an Earthbound Immortal, you don't even fucking need a field spell. I play Mathematician to dump this card in the grave so I could soul charge it later, and so I could draw a card when it gets destroyed. Battle Fader, obviously, stop a battle phase, and then boom, you have 1 tribute on the field. Pretty nice. 1 Day of Peace, pretty self-explanatory, just draw more cards, no damage. Monster Gate's pretty hilarious, because what you could do is if you have the field spell on the field, summon any monster, whether it's Hardened Armed, Mathematician, Battle Fader, fuck, even if you already have an Earthbound Immortal, you just want a different one or another one or whatever. Activate Monster Gate, tribute the monster, and then you go through the top cards of your deck until you reveal a monster that can be normal summoned, which is all of these, by the way, and then boom, you special summon it, so it's pretty cool. Soul Charge, we all know what Soul Charge does. Soul Charge works on the Earthbound Immortals if you really, really need to, if you have a field spell. What I like to do is Soul Charge for Hardened Arm Dragon, maybe another Tribute Fodder if I need it, and just summon an Earthbound Immortal, but it has multiple uses. Soul Exchange, obviously for tributing your opponent's monsters. Upstart Goblin, draw more. Terraforming, get those field spells faster. Field Barrier, keep those field spells more. The Monarch's Storm Forth, obviously just more tributes, and Foolish Burial to dump some Hardened Arm Dragons for those Soul Charge targets. I don't have an extra deck for this deck, because I feel that it doesn't need it. It really can't use it, but if you want to throw some cards in, you could. You can make a level 3 monster, you can make a level 1 XYZ monster, you can make a level 4 XYZ monster, but you cannot make a level 10 because you can only have one of these on the field at a time. The entire field. They're kind of like Malefics, so if your opponent is playing this and you go first and you summon an Earthbound Immortal first, you win because you can't summon monsters. So that's this deck. If you guys have any questions, just let me know. I'll be happy to answer. This is a somewhat complicated idea because these guys have long ass fucking complicated card effects and there's a shit ton of them. So I'll see you guys later.